Restoring men in history. Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. Aristotle said this, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Six Human Needs by Anthony Robbins. We're going to go through it today, and I think it will be very helpful to you. At least I know when I was sitting with a buddy in Beverly Hills in LA, I was talking with him, and he came up with these six needs, and we went through it, and we went over it together. We were smoking cigars, having fun, having a deep conversation. He's a fantastic friend. And it was an enlightening conversation, so I think it will be for you. I think it might help you set your life goals and know yourself better, because I think that's important, and give you a big why you're doing things, what's meaningful to you as men. Are you fulfilled right now? Are you getting what you want out of life? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you believe you're meeting your core needs? Now, we were talking deeply and smoking cigars, having a discussion, and we ended up ranking them 1 to 6. So I think it would be benefit at the end of this for you to rank these 6 human needs for yourself, so you know what to drive toward, how to drive toward, and what's going to make you more fulfilled. I also think it can be a fantastic conversation piece for a date or a girl you're dating, or just building friendships deeper, which men need. As you know, we believe in deep male friendships. Tony Robbins, 6 Human Needs. He writes, all dysfunctional behaviors arise from the inability to consistently meet these core needs. So we think these are important to figure out, and I know it was very illuminating to look at it with my buddy. But people's needs aren't just behind the bad decisions we make, they are also behind all the great things humans accomplish. And as you know, we want you to accomplish things, reach your potential, if that's your need. Understanding your own needs in psychology can not only help you avoid toxic behaviors and habits, but can help you achieve your goals. And that's what we're about here, right? We're trying to help you achieve your goals, reach your potential, soar to greatness. How do we develop our core needs? He goes on to say this, each of us is unique and shaped by our individual life events and corresponding emotions. Many of our deepest needs are developed in childhood. You can go back to your past, your father, your mother, those relationships, and how that has affected you. Taking in all the information you have from that, this information, whether positive or negative, creates our beliefs and our values. And we talk a lot about beliefs and values. So I think this is a very helpful exercise if you'll do it at the end. It's even been proven that stress in childhood can have lasting effects on brain chemistry and development. Each of us, each of you, describes or prioritizes your needs differently. Our decisions are based on which needs we put first. Now, he also makes a fantastic point here, which we agree with. Your past is not your future, gentlemen, unless you live there. You can choose to fulfill those needs, your needs. You can choose to make a bad past your life purpose, or your mission, by the way, your goal. It can transform you, and you can do something good out of something that was bad. You can change that. You can choose to change that. So let's go on to the 6 human needs. Anthony Robbins. Certainty, number 1. Assurance you can avoid pain and gain pleasure. Now, I've read his book. He goes into this in the book. A lot of people make decisions based on pain and pleasure. A lot of people go for a decision that's going to avoid pain or give them pleasure. By the way, if you can take the pain, and we've talked about this before, it might be able to propel you to greatness, propel you to success. Because a lot of people are not going to take that route, right? They're not going to go through the pain, but you as men can do that. Men, you can take the pain and delay gratification and move forward. And think of how more rapidly you can move forward if you're choosing a painful way that no one else wants to do, right? If you're doing something no one else wants to do, and it's kind of painful at the beginning, but it gets better and you learn more and you succeed at it, you probably take off at that. Other things you can do, you might avoid a temporary pain by not confronting a situation that you need to confront. Maybe it's with a friend or a girlfriend, or maybe it's in business. In other words, I remember I always took bad calls from customers when something went awry, and people in the office would say, why are you taking that? That guy's going to be angry. And I'd say, look, I got to deal with it, and I need to get him straight, and I need to take care of him. So I would prefer, and always did, when I knew that something was awry, I would get that call done and get to fixing it. So that was taking on pain for the moment for a future success. You can do that with a girlfriend. If something's consistently bothering you or her, you might as well just go to her and take it on if it's real, right? Not just talking about a fleeting emotion, which sometimes happens, but if it's a real problem that exists and you need to fix it, you as the man can go fix it with the girl because you're the guy. So you can take charge and go fix it. And it might be painful at first. There might be high emotions and she might get upset, but better to just deal with it and get it done and resolve the situation, right? So that's, taking on the temporary pain possibly for a greater benefit. Number 2, uncertainty variety, the need for the unknown, change, and new stimuli. 3, significance, feeling unique, important, special, or needed. 4, connection, love, a strong feeling of closeness or union with someone or something. Growth. Number 5, an expansion of capacity, capability, or understanding. Number 6, contribution, a sense of service and focus on helping, giving, and supporting others. And we talk about a lot about this one, contribution, and restoring men in history. So we ranked it, my friend and I. We want you to rank it. And he talks about everyone ranking these human needs differently. So you can rank it any way you want. There's no right or wrong. Just rank them the way you want. But it will help you explain why you are as a person and why you make certain decisions. So I think it can be very helpful. The top 4 needs, he says, shape our personality, while the last 2 shape our spiritual needs. So you can meet your needs in a variety of ways. You can seek fulfillment through relationships, careers, personal interest, and more. Certainty. If certainty is one of your core needs, you need to feel secure and safe about the future. And I've met people like this. I've met many girls that need certainty, and that makes sense. That's fine, right? They need security, many of them. Many girls want to be safe and secure, and they want stability, right? So is that one of your great needs? It can be, I don't know. Ask yourself, is that one? When you receive positive recognition, what does that do to you? Do you like it? It may be accomplished by a need for certainty that the recognition is authentic and will continue. Does that sound familiar? In order to live a life filled with certainty, your life has to stay the same. A nearly impossible expectation, he says, to fulfill. So you artificially do what? You control your environment by changing your expectations or by avoiding new situations or people. And what can that do to you? It could cost you meeting a fantastic new person in your life, right? Could hold you back in a new business endeavor because you never met it, because you never got out there. So we're trying to identify your top needs. So think if you've ever done that as we go through this. This process provides you with assurance that your actions will either avoid pain or gain pleasure. Does that sound familiar? Which then fulfills that basic human need for certainty. Now, here's some keys he came up with how to tell if certainty is one of your core needs. You're trustworthy. You always do what you say. You enjoy planning and thrive on a schedule, and you are very organized. And I have met some people like this. I remember going out with this girl, and I went to her house the first time, and it was perfect. And I mean perfect. I had never seen anything so organized as this girl. Every shelf was like detailed with boxes inside the shelf that organized all her goods. The living room looked like it had never been sat in. Everything was ordered. Great structure, and guess what about her life? She had an uninvolved father. That's a problem in America today. She had a mother that was gone. And so she had created this order and structure. So obviously one of her needs was certainty, right? Safety, security. That gave her security because she really had no family. What else? You're hesitant to take risks and have new experiences. You may fall into addictive or obsessive behaviors. How to fulfill a need for certainty, find activities that you enjoy. He says these are some examples that push you out of your comfort zone. Incorporate healthy and empowering routines into your life. Give back to others to promote growth and contribution in a consistent way. What are those activities for you? You can write them down right now if you want to, or later after this is over. What are things you can do? Uncertainty variety. Though it's important to understand the beauty of uncertainty, those who experience this as one of their top human needs can take it to an extreme. So he gives a warning about this one. And you've probably met people like that, right? They're changing jobs a lot for no reason, really, you think? Or they're changing boyfriends, girlfriends a lot for no reason, right? Now, we're not saying it's bad or good. We're just saying this happens. They engage in frequent job or relationship changes. Okay, he goes on to talk about that. Risk to achieve the adrenaline. They're craving an adrenaline, he says, so they change a lot for variety. Now, if uncertainty is one of your top 6 human needs, you will be unafraid of taking risk, he says, so there's a positive, and will not avoid new situations or people, so that's a positive. So you may run into new business endeavors and meet new people that are fantastic for your life. How to tell if this is one of your core needs. You're generally outgoing. You like meeting new people. You're always willing to do something new and have many interests. You can be unfocused. You lack planning skills. You have perhaps pushed people away in relationships. Now, how to fulfill a need for variety. Feed your mind regularly with a variety of new information. Switch up the exercise routines. Eat new foods. Take classes with new people. Learn how to ignite passion in your life and relationships. Significance. If significance is among the top 2 of your human needs, then part of that meeting includes receiving recognition. Does this sound familiar to you? Do you want recognition? This translates in a desire to be seen, heard, and listened to. In short, you want to be noticed. So think of all the girls on Instagram. And we're not saying it's bad or good. We're just making a point. They're on there posting pictures in bikinis or whatever. So they probably want to be noticed, right? Some of them, I'm sure, are making money from it. But anyway, they probably want to be recognized, get the likes, right? Your measure of significance by what you believe makes you unique compared to everyone else around you. Does that sound familiar? If so, that may be one of your needs. Recognition provides you with a sense of validation that makes you feel seen, special, and or needed. Now, recognition is a driving force behind behavior because it provides us with a measurement, right? You can measure how many likes you measure things to analyze and track our significance. You can measure trophies from sales, right? Or trophies from corporate sports. You can gain trophies from sports and get recognition for running the 40 or whatever you're doing, playing football, basketball awards. Corporate America gives out awards for recognition, so you can gain that, right? And studies have shown that if bosses and employees would just give more appreciation and employees would feel appreciated, they would probably stay long. The number 2 thing is whom they're working with, right? Relationships at work. So relationships and recognition. Also, if you're an employer or you have employees or you're wanting to start a business, remember these 2 things. Appreciate your employees, give them recognition, and create a great environment for them where they can build friendships and relationships. Because if you do that, I think you'll hold on to them longer, and that can be a problem for retaining people. You can do this with girlfriends or friends. Call them out and compliment them. Compliment them in front of other people. Give them credit if they came up with a fantastic idea. Give people credit at work if they came up with an outstanding idea. You can give credit to people. You can recognize them. You can recognize your friends. You can recognize your friends in private and public. You can recognize your girlfriend. She fixes you a fantastic meal. You say, this is fantastic. You can tell everybody about it and make her feel good, right? Because that's what we're also here for, I think. But anyway, it's your needs, so I don't know what you're here for. But I think it's good to make people feel good. Now he gives a warning. Those who don't devise a positive way to feel significant may end up taking drastic measures to make themselves feel good, like turning to alcohol or engaging in frequent arguments. I've seen this one. I've seen it in groups. I've seen it in business where people will pick an odd argument that doesn't make sense for the day, but maybe they just wanted attention that day, or maybe they felt bad, or maybe something bad happened in their life that day. I don't know, but it was some of the same people over and over and over, so it wasn't just one bad day, right? There's certain people in corporate America were picking arguments for no reason. They were never going to win. And I think it was for an attention, judging from knowing them and their personality. Same way with the groups. We had some guys come through, always wanted attention, picking horrific fights for no reason. Others surround themselves with people that they view as less skilled or accomplished to provide contrast to their own achievements. Again, is this something you might do? Either scenario can result in increased significance, but neither behavior is particularly healthy, he says. So trying to help you here and see what we can do. How to tell if significance is one of your core needs. You're highly driven to be successful. You love setting and reaching goals. You're committed to a cause or several causes. Others tell you that you stand out. You can be overly competitive, perfectionist, or dynamic. So does that sound familiar? How to fulfill a need for significance. Channel your competitive nature into healthy activities by learning a new sport, skill, volunteering. So it gives some examples here. Okay, let's go on to connection love. If connection love is your top basic need, you are constantly seeking out a close relationship with someone or something. You truly understand that love wakes you up to the gift of life. People need love. That is true. And again, we always say you can choose love or fear, right? So people need love, and this can lead to some incredibly fulfilling relationships, right? But he also talks about a warning. It can cause you to self-sacrifice if you go too far. How to tell if connection is one of your loyalty and generosity are some of the signals that you have this, some of your top values. You give freely, you find others, and others find you trustworthy. You have strong social ties, but you can sometimes lose your sense of self, find it hard to say no. So do those meet you? How to feel a connection, be willing to be vulnerable and create deeper, more meaningful relationships. Now, we talk about this all the time. You men need good male friends, and most do not have it today. That is a male problem, creating loneliness and isolation. Get some male friends. And then you can create deeper, more meaningful relationships. And that is worth putting the time and energy to, I believe. I think that is very much worth the time and energy into that. So are you doing that? Do you take the initiative on that to build friendships? Going on, communicate your needs to your partner to improve intimacy. Achieve greater spirituality through prayer. He talks about meditation. Let's go on. Growth. Those whose foremost core need is growth are always striving to be better. Are you striving to be better? Do you want to reach your potential and learn more? We want you to reach your potential. That's one of our big things here. But again, these are your needs, and you need to do what you need to do. But I do think men should be pushing to reach their potential. But anyway, again, that's going to be what you need. Going on. They're very good at their jobs, but they tend to move on quickly. Does this sound familiar? As soon as they believe they've reached their full potential. Perhaps you get bored with things. You want to move on. Perhaps you master things, and then you get bored and you want to move to something different, to learn something new, because you have that growth, learning thing. You want to learn and grow, learn and grow. Though their constant striving for betterment ensures they will never be bored, they can err on the side of perfectionism and neglect the rest and relaxation. Then, well, I think that's true. I think it's easy to neglect the rest and relaxation because there's so much to be done and you want to grow so much that you stop with the rest and relaxation and having fun because you want to get better and you want to grow and you want to learn more. So what happens? You kind of drop the rest and relaxation thing. So I think that one's true. So how to tell if growth is one of your needs. You're always pushing boundaries, both of your own and those set for you by others and by society. I found that one to be true. You're very independent and not attached to material things. Does that sound familiar? Are you independent? Are you not attached to material things? You may find it hard to connect with others and move too quickly from relationships. That's interesting because in a way, I see growth as, can you, John Wilson and I, can I grow a deeper friendship with John? Can I grow a deeper friendship with this person and that person? And I'm always setting up so we can get together and create a more dynamic, meaningful relationship. So with your girlfriend, are you creating more intimacy? Are you making that deeper, right? So here's some pointers. How do you feel the need for growth? Develop your growth mindset even further by challenging yourself not only to learn, but to truly master a difficult skill. Don't forget emotional and spiritual growth, he says. Examine the limited beliefs. We always talk about limited beliefs. We don't want you to limit yourself with your mind, right? Change it. If you've created a limiting belief, change it to a positive one. Don't let them hold you back. Learn to control your emotions. Take up meditation or praying or priming. Here's a huge one. Contribution. Last one, I believe. We talk a lot about this one, contribution. What do you want to contribute to this earth before you die? Or is that even a need? Are the other needs stronger for you? Secret to living is giving. We believe in that here. We want you to give to your friends, your girlfriend, and others. And those who experience contribution as one of the top 6 needs need to know this better than anyone else. If you have a need to contribute, you will likely make a big difference in your community. Does that sound familiar? You might be in a group or something else where you're having an impact in that group, maybe a men's group or something else. However, he says some of these people, and I've read this with pastors sometimes and others, can lose the sight of giving at home and being there for their kids. So they're out in the community and they're doing things, but they're not present with their family. He says that's a warning. So how do you find out if contribution is one of your needs? You're extremely empathetic, compassionate. You enjoy giving back and sharing what you have. You want to leave a legacy. Does that sound familiar? Do you want to leave a legacy? You also may burn out easily. And I think that's true. You get so caught up in making others better and making society better, constitution, the groups, whatever, you can burn out from it. Whatever your goal is, whatever it can be. If you really want to make a contribution, I can see you getting burned out on it. So how to fulfill a contribution? Well, by giving back, by having an impact, make a difference. Join a volunteer group, start a group, do your own. So now that we've come through this, I hope it's been helpful. Now what I want you to do is rank these 1 to 6. Go through, think about what we said, and then rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think it's a good idea if you go do this with a buddy. And by the way, this is a great exercise. If you want to get more meaning and get deeper with someone, I've done this many times with girls, many times with male friends, and I think it makes us have a more meaningful relationship, and it leads to other questions, and it will help you get to know your girl, or help you can use it on a date with a girl, because it's real, right? And you're finding out about her, and that may help you get to know her better, as well as help her in her goals, right? Or at least get to know whether you'll even be a match for each other, right? If you want the same things, if you have the same values. So I think this is a great conversation piece, as well as for knowing yourself. So write them down, analyze it, go out with a buddy, do it with him. You can do it with a bunch of friends. I think it'll lead to many more stimulating conversations and help you in conversation as well. Know thyself. Thank you.